Hey everybody, Sharon here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in the Final Fantasy X HD Remaster, grabbing the Weapon Master achievement. This is to find every character's celestial weapon. Also in this video, I will show you how to upgrade each weapon, although that is not required for the achievement. The achievement is to just find the base weapons. So with that in mind, we are able to start grabbing the celestial weapons as soon as we are about to get to the Calmlands. So this is going to be right after the Bavel story arc. When you awake from your camp, you want to head out to the entrance of Macalania Woods and talk to that family right there. They are going to note that the husband's missing. Then you want to go back to your campsite and then head up and then talk to him, tell him his family is waiting for him by the entrance, and then head back, and you will now notice that the son is missing. So now what you want to do is you want to go look for him, and thankfully we could take this new crystally path right here, which is a path that has no encounters, so don't worry about running into annoying enemies. And you want to follow this until you get to this fork right here. Take the left fork, it should take you up to this place, and you will find the son right here. He should be reunited with his dad, and this is going to put you on the path to get the first thing you need in order to get these celestial weapons. Alright, step 2 is going to involve you trying to find the cloudy mirror. So play the game like normal, so go to the Calmlands like you're supposed to. Once you are in the Calmlands, the game is going to open up to you significantly to start doing a lot of the stuff that you're going to end up doing in the post game. So to get the cloudy mirror, what you want to do is you want to first grab a chocobo. So look for the chocobo trainer. She can appear in one of 4 locations depending on where you booted the game up. If you came in from either one of the entrances, she will appear next to it. So Macalania entrance as well as the Gagazet entrance. She can also appear in the northwest corner, and if you load up from a save point where you saved at the agency, she will appear next to the agency. So make sure you find her and then ask her for a chocobo. Lucky for you, they are free here, unlike in Mihen, so you don't have to rent one if you are low on cash. So once you find one, you basically just want to take it over to the Macalania entrance. So I recommend grabbing it next to the Macalania entrance, that way you don't have to walk too far. Highly recommend having a no encounters weapon if you are going to have to walk very far to find her, because dealing with random encounters can be quite annoying. So make sure once you find her, grab the chocobo, head to the Macalania entrance, go to the right. You'll notice a bridge that's been knocked out here with a chocobo feather next to it. Interact with the chocobo feather while on a chocobo and it should fly on over, and then you can hang a right to this area called the Remium Temple. This is where you unlock the Magus Sisters, which is the last bonus Aeon. So instead of heading on inside, what you want to do is you want to hang a right, and you will notice another chocobo here. Interact with it and it will give you the option to compete in another mini game. This is going to be a chocobo race. Now your goal to get the cloudy mirror is to just beat the other chocobo. So it's actually pretty simple. There's lots of optional treasure chests and stuff along the way. As long as you make it to the finish line and beat the other chocobo, you will be rewarded with the cloudy mirror, which is the thing we are going to need to unlock the celestial weapons. So as you can see, it's very easy if you just go straight for the finish line and don't stop to pick up any of the treasures. There's lots of cool unlocks that you can get along the way, as well as an additional achievement. However, we will cover that in a separate video. But for beating the chocobo, you get your cloudy mirror. Now, unfortunately, the game will not let you use just the cloudy mirror in order to get to the celestial weapons. You are going to have to upgrade it, and to do that, what you have to do is you have to head back to Macalania and head back to the tree where we found that little kid. So backtrack all the way up here, take the rainbow road until you get to the fork, and then take a left, interact with the giant crystal thing, and that should upgrade the cloudy mirror into the celestial mirror, and now we could start using this thing to unlock the celestial weapons. So I have this video organized by character, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to get their base weapon and then the 2 upgrades that go along with it. So we're going to start off with Titus. His you can actually get right away, right after upgrading the Celestial Mirror. What you want to do is you want to head back to the Calmlands, and you want to talk to the Chocobo Trainer again. Talk to her and make sure you start Chocobo training, so ask her to let you train a chocobo, and you're going to play these 4 mini games. All you have to do is just pass them under the time limit, and you should be able to unlock Titus's ultimate weapon. So it's going to take a little bit of skill because the chocobo controls are a little dodgy. However, you can check out our chocobo license video for further details on how to get each of the races done. So after completing all 4 races, you will notice that there is going to be a character right next to you once you head back to the overworld. This is going to be the person that was blocking the path to the ultimate weapon basically Snorlax from Pokemon style. So what you want to do is you want to head to where this person was. So you want to go to the northwest corner of the Calmlands. You can take a Chocobo there if you want to avoid random encounters and also walk here a lot faster. You will notice that you have a little thing on the screen right here. So just hug the top edge and follow this along, and this path is going to take you down this slope into a hidden corner of the map. And in here, there's going to be a little panel on the wall that's now accessible to you once that character moves out of the way. Use the Celestial Mirror on it, and you should get Tidus's ultimate weapon, at least the base of it. So each ultimate weapon is going to come with 2 upgrades, a crest which is going to be found in a chest hidden throughout the world, and a sigil which is usually unlocked through some convoluted method. Tidus's crest is going to be located in Zanarkand. It's going to be in that room where we fought Unalesca. Now it's very important that you grab the crest your first trip here, so right after you beat Unalesca, make sure you head up the staircase and open up the chest right away. The reason for that is once you get the airship and come back here, Dark Bahamut is going to start appearing in this room, and it's going to be very difficult to defeat him without having the fully upgraded ultimate weapon. So once again, make sure you grab it your first time round. As for the sigil, what you have to do is you have to head back to the Calmlands and talk to the Chocobo trainer again. You want to challenge her to a rematch of the 4th event, which is going to be the Catcher Chocobo race. Now, the catch this time around is going to be you have to beat her with a perfect time of 0.00. You could check out our Chocobo Rider guide for more details on this. What it basically boils down to is you constantly playing the game until you get a good enough course where you can put up a time of about 36-37 seconds, getting 13 or more balloons, and only getting hit by 1 or fewer birds. That should be enough bonuses to set you over the 0.00 limit, and if you manage to play well enough, you should be awarded with the sigil. On to Yuna's ultimate weapon. First off, you want to head over to the Monster Arena. You should be pretty familiar with this since it's going to be a bulk of your time spent in the post-game. And all you have to do is just make sure you capture 1 of every single type of creature in the Calmlands. You can check out the first part of our Overcoming the Nemesis guide in order to get more details on the Monster Arena. It's pretty simple, just finishing up the Calmlands. But once you do that, you're going to head back to the Monster Arena trainer guy and then talk to him, and then he should award you with this chest he can't open. Now, obviously, you can't open it either unless you picked up the Celestial Mirror, which we did already. So if you're doing this your first time at the Calmlands, you might not be able to open this. So if you manage to pick up the Celestial Mirror in the meantime, you can head back here and open up this chest he spawns, and inside is going to be the first part of Yuna's celestial weapon, which is going to be the Nirvana. Yuna's crest is going to be found in Besaid. Just head out to the beach and then head into the water, and all you have to do is just swim around this rock, and it should be on this little alcove right here. You can actually grab this on your first trip to Spiro once you wake up in Besaid, and instead of swimming to the Aurochs, you just want to head right and then grab this chest right here. However, you can save it till later on once you unlock the airship and can fast travel back here. The sigil, on the other hand, is going to have to wait until you have unlocked every single Aeon, including the 3 bonus Aeons, Yojimbo, Anima, and the Magus Sisters. So feel free to check out our It's All About the Money guide in order to unlock Yojimbo, our Feel the Pain guide to unlock Anima, and our Delta Attack guide in order to unlock the Magus Sisters. So once you have those last 3 Aeons, you basically just want to head back to Remium Temple and challenge the Summoner Lady to a Summoner duel, and she will now have the last 3 Aeons on her list. And all you have to do is just run through the gambit of defeating these 3. By this point, you should have defeated up to Bahamut, since it's required to unlock the Magus Sisters that you defeat her up to the first 5 Aeons. So all you have to really do is just defeat the last 3. Lucky for you, you can just use the Magus Sisters to take out Yojimbo and Anima, and you can use Anima to take out the Magus Sisters. They should be really easy because your stats should be super high at this point. Once you defeat her, she's going to ask you to send her. Make sure you click Perform Sending, and she should disappear and give you the sigil. Alright, as for Auron's ultimate weapon, this one's going to be pretty multifaceted, so get ready. On our way to Mount Gagazet, you will notice you can actually head underneath the bridge into the valley. This area is going to be called the Cavern of the Stolen Faith. Instead of heading into the cavern, what you want to do is you want to take a right and follow this path along. Say hi to the rarest and most exclusive Blitzball player right here while you're at it. And you can, more importantly, grab this sword between these 2 rocks. It's going to be called the Rusty Sword. So what you have to do is you have to bring this back to a very specific location on Mushroom Rock Road. So the best way to get there is to fast travel to Mian High Road and ask for a chocobo. And what you want to do is you want to take this guy all the way to Mushroom Rock Road. So make sure you take the high road and then travel all the way to the gate. Once you're at the gate, make sure you disembark. Highly recommend saving here. You want to head into Mushroom Rock Road, hug the left wall, avoid talking to these NPCs because you will trigger the boss fight against the Dark Mag Sisters, which especially at this point you definitely want to avoid. And you want to keep heading until you can take your second left right here. This should take you to this little alcove, and you will notice there is an elevator right here. Take the elevator up, and here is going to be a statue of Lord Mihen. Interact with it, and it's going to ask you to use the rusty sword. After the little cutscene where we stab the ground, this panel is going to pop up. Go up to it and use the celestial mirror on it, and you should get Auron's ultimate weapon, which is going to be called the Masamune. Now, there's going to be a number of opportunities in order to get Auron's crest. You can do this while you are here in the story, or you can come back here once you get the airship. Whatever the case, you want to go back to Mihen High Road, or if you just got the ultimate weapon, you can just backtrack the way we came. All you have to do is just head back to the gate. Highly recommend you bring a chocobo because walking sucks. And instead of heading through the gate, we are going to take the alternate path, which takes us down the old road. And you just want to follow this until the end, until you find the crest in a chest. You can also have the opportunity of grabbing this if you happen to lose to the chocobo eater during the main story, because you have to take the old road if that scenario happens. But once you grab that, the sigil is going to be gone at the monster arena. To get it, what you have to do is you have to capture one of every creature in 10 different areas. So your goal is to unlock 10 bosses in the area conquest. Once you have done that, just head back to the old man, talk to him, and he's going to give you the sigil. So that one's pretty simple since we have to do a majority of the monster arena stuff anyways. Kimahri's ultimate weapon is going to be located in the Thunder Plains. You want to start on the south side, so the Guado Salam side. Next to the first lightning rod tower and save point is going to be a Cactar statue. You want to wait until it's glowing, which might take a while. But once it does, all you have to do is just walk up to it, hit the X button on Xbox, or if you're on PS3, PS4, or the Vita, it's going to be square, I believe, and you should pray to it. Now, to get the weapon, what you have to do is you have to pray to 3 different Cactar statues, 2 on the South Thunder Plains and 1 in the north. So the second one is going to be located right here. You might notice this little protuberance on the map to the right. It's going to be right next to a treasure chest. So make sure you pray here once it's glowing, and that's going to be the second statue. Now just go to the North Thunder Plains, and you'll actually notice there's 3 separate statues here, and the way the statues work in the northern half of the Thunder Plains is the glowing is going to travel between the 3, and you just need to pray at one of them. So my best advice, if you're lazy, is to just go up to the first one, which should be immediately to your left once you get to the north, and then all you have to do is just wait here until it's glowing and then pray to it. If it's not, you might have to wait here for a while, so hopefully you have no encounters on and you just run around in circles until it starts glowing. Go up to it, make sure you pray to it, and then that should cover all 3 statues you need. Be very careful not to interact with the NPC. We don't want to trigger the fight with Dark Ixion right now. So once you have prayed at all 3 statues, what you want to do is you want to head back to the south side, so just go back the way we came, and then you just want to hug the right side, and you want to follow this along. You might notice this little Cactar ghost floating around. All you have to do is just follow him, and he should lead you to the broken lightning rod tower. And if you manage to come here after praying at all 3 statues, you should get this little cutscene. But more importantly, the chest for Kimahri's ultimate weapon is going to appear. So once you spot the ghost, make sure you actually follow him, so you have to stay behind him. You can't get ahead of him. And then he's going to take you to the tower. Make sure you pray to it one last time, and then the cutscene should play out, and Kimahri's Spirit Lance should be ours. So, Kimahri's crest is going to be another one that's pretty easy to find, however, it is pretty well hidden. You want to head back to Mount Gagazet, and you want to follow the mountain trail until you get to that cliffside where we had our 3rd Seymour boss fight against Seymour Flux. After that, you want to keep following the trail. You'll notice these pillars right here leading up to the save point and to the cave. Between pillars 3 and 4 is going to be a chest, which is going to contain the crest. Alright, Kimahri's sigil is going to be located in Macalania Woods. It requires you to beat both of the butterfly catching mini games. So take the dirt path until you see the parrot guy. Make sure you go in from the left side and grab the butterfly to start the timer. You have to grab all the blue ones before the timer runs out. First one's going to be on the left, then you want to quickly hug the right wall, back to the left to grab butterfly number 2, zigzag between these red guys. Third one is going to be up here next to the tree before the turn. Then you want to stay in the center, quickly zigzag between those 2 red ones, and then you want to grab this one next to the chest on the right. Watch out for that red one, hug the upper wall to grab that one, watch out for that red one, and watch out for that one. Zigzag around to get through that corner. That spot's pretty tough, and then the blue one is going to be right here. That will finish up the game. The first chest is going to give you a teleport sphere, which is totally useless at this point unless you care about that stuff, but this will allow you to start the second minigame and get the sigil. So just follow the path to the right leading up to the lake until you find the butterfly. It should be towards the end of the path, right before the save point. So with this one, I recommend going in from this towards the bottom of the screen. So start the game, and then you want to head up towards the lake. The reason for that is there's actually a blue butterfly right behind you, so this one's kind of a trick one that you can miss if you take the more traditional path. Head down here, second blue butterfly is right there, and then all you have to do is just try your best to zigzag, hug the right wall once you get here. The hard part is this string of red butterflies. You can actually pass this with a perfect score, only getting 1 encounter, so don't worry about messing up too badly right there. But once you get down here, butterfly right there, butterfly right here on the corner, and then hug the bottom to avoid that red guy. Quickly switch over once you get to that red one. Grab the blue in the corner right here and just hug the left wall and just punch it straight to the finish. Pretty simple. The path never changes for both games, so as long as you remember these little patterns of switching sides on hugging the wall, you should be able to get both chests done, and the sigil should be yours. Alright, on to Wakka's ultimate weapon, also known as a huge time sink playing nothing but blitzball for several hours. Now, Wakka's ultimate weapon will not appear until you have placed at least 3rd in any blitzball tournament. You can check out our Blitzball Master Guide for more details on how to get all you need to get all of the blitzball that you have to play done. So, whatever the case, once you have managed to place 3rd or higher in any tournament, head back to Luca, and the ultimate weapon is going to be located in that tavern where we were supposed to meet Auron in the main story. If you forgot how to get there, from the fast travel point, which is the front of the arena, just head down. You should be in the little T-shaped intersection. Just go straight, and then you should be in downtown Luca. The tavern is going to be this straightaway towards the back of the screen. Once you head in here, talk to the bartender. The bartender should congratulate you on your blitzball success. Use the celestial mirror, and Wakka's ultimate weapon should be yours. As for the crest, it's also going to be located in Luca. It can be gone on any revisit to the city, so as early on in the story as you getting to the Mihen High Road. So head back to the arena, and what you want to do is want to take the right staircase down. This should lead you into the locker room area. Go to the last room on the left, which is going to be the Aurochs locker room, and then go to the wall on the left side. The camera is going to change, so now it's your right. Go to the second to last locker, and in here is going to be Wakka's crest. Alright, Wakka's sigil. This is where hours and hours of blitzing is going to take place. I'm not going to cover the exact details in this video. More of it will be covered in the Blitzball Master Guide. However, a rough breakdown of it is going to be right here on this chart. And to simplify this chart even further, basically what it boils down to is you have to unlock every single one of Wakka's overdrives, which should get you the Blitzball Master achievement. As soon as you unlock the last one, the sigil is going to start becoming available to you in the league system. Now, you have a 50% chance of it appearing once you refresh the league season. So we're going to pick things up here at the point where we have just unlocked Wakka's last overdrive, which is going to be the Aurochs reels, and have gotten the Blitzball Master achievement. You should have gotten it in a tournament. So now we have to get the sigil, which is going to be in a league. Unfortunately, the prize pool for the current league is still going to be in place. So what this essentially means is we either have to finish the current league in order to get a new league and refresh the prize pool, which requires us to play an additional 10 games, or we have to go through the trouble of using the reset data feature, which is going to refresh the league anyways with a fresh prize pool. However, that is going to erase all of our players and all of our stats. So it's going to be up to you on how you want to spend the majority of this time, if you want to play 10 more Blitzball games, or if you want to take that time to rehire all of your players and just play a new league. So if you were like me and chose the former and decided to stick with playing the additional league, once you get to game number 9, very, very important that once you finish game 9, you want to back out. So when it asks you if you want to continue playing Blitzball, if you want to leave, make sure you leave. The reason for that is we are going to make a save here, and the reason for this is the sigil only has a 50% chance of spawning. So once you finish game 10 and end the current league and the prize pool refreshes, you only have a 50-50 shot of the sigil popping up. So in order to guarantee ourselves the sigil appearing, what we're going to do is we're going to save right before the last game. Then we are going to play the last game. If the sigil appears, we're going to keep going and then start the new league. If it doesn't, we're just going to reload our last save, replay game 10, and then hopefully have the sigil appear. Whatever the case, once the sigil appears, you're going to have to play one more league, which involves you playing another 10 games. So best of luck trying to hammer out all of this blitzing. So once you finish game 10 and have gotten first place in the league, so that should be super easy at this point since you're probably a Blitzball pro, you should finally get the sigil. But this one's definitely the most time-consuming one. After that, it is on to Lulu's ultimate weapon. So, her ultimate weapon is going to be found at the Bosch Temple. If you don't have it already, to unlock Bosch Temple, you go to Sid in the airship. Then you want to go to the search command, and you want to search these coordinates, about 1460-ish, and that should unlock the temple, and you could fast travel here. If you remember, this is our first location once we got to Spira in the main story, and we are revisiting here to get some cool stuff. So, just take the bridge up, and you should dive into the water, dive straight down, and you want to look in this pile of rubble right here. In here is going to be a chest. Use the celestial mirror on it, and you should get Lulu's celestial weapon, which is going to be the Onion Knight. So to get her crest, what you have to do is, this is once again after unlocking the airship, you have to fast travel back to Guado Salam. You should be in the inn. Once you head outside, you should get a little cutscene with Trommel. You can either follow him or you can just walk past him. You are heading back to the far plane, which is the uppermost structure in this place. Just head on inside, go up the staircase, and once you're here, you have some optional cutscenes you can look at if you want to get the full experience of the story. However, the thing we're looking for, which is the crest, is going to be off to the left, so make sure you grab that. Alright, Lulu's Sigil. This one is definitely the most frustrating one out of the bunch. First thing I recommend doing is grabbing an armor with no encounters on it. This one's going to be very useful. After that, we are going to head to the Thunder Plains. To get her sigil, you have to play the lightning dodging minigame, and you have to dodge 200 lightning bolts. Now, that may sound really difficult, however, we have a little trick which we covered in our Lightning Dancer guide. From the fast travel station, which is at the agency, you want to head down towards the southern half of the Thunder Plains. Stay on the left side until you get past the little lake right here. Underneath said lake is going to be this crater, and underneath that is going to be this kind of dark spot with some dots in it. To get this trick to work, what you have to do is you have to run in a circle between the crater and the two dots. The way this works is the trick is going to cause the game to spawn a lightning bolt every time we set foot in the crater. So all you have to do is just keep running this circle and then getting the timing right. So you basically want to hit the A button as soon as you set foot in the crater, and that will pretty much guarantee you a perfect lightning dodge. So once you get a rhythm down, you can pretty much do this consistently until you get your 200. Unfortunately, the game doesn't keep track of you, so you kind of have to count in your head until you hit 200. So make sure you leave yourself a kind of margin of error. For me, I like doing 220, and once you manage to get 200 lightning dodges, just head back to the agency, open up the chest, and it should give you the sigil. Best of luck. Very, very frustrating to get that one. And just like that, we are down to the final ultimate weapon. This one requires you to have the airship, go up to Sid, and then go to the input command, punch in this cheat code, Godhand, in all caps. That will unlock the hidden area called Mushroom Rock. This will take you to underneath the Mushroom Rock Road inside the ravine. Once you are in here, just head to the upper left. There should be a chest here, which will open up to you once you use the Celestial Mirror on it, and this will give you Riku's ultimate weapon, which is our 7th and final one. This is where you should pop your achievement. Once again, you do not need the crests nor the sigils in order to just get the achievement. I just recommend getting them because they basically give you the strongest weapons in the game, and they help out a lot towards all the post-game super bosses and all that stuff. The crest is going to be found on Beacon Island. So what you want to do is want to head to the last screen before home. That's the one with all the signs and all of the sand whirlpools. So you basically want to go to the leftmost whirlpool. It's this little protuberance on the map, hard to miss. So just head on there. You kind of have to go between all of this rubble and stuff. So once you steer your way into here, there should be a chest inside this sand whirlpool. Grab it. It's going to be Riku's crest. This one's pretty easy. And finally, the last thing we are going to grab is going to be Riku's sigil. For this, I recommend having a no encounters armor, so make sure you equip that. This one is also going to be located on Beacon Island, so head over there. It's going to be on that same screen we were just at, so the last area of Beacon before home, so the place with the sand whirlpools and all the signs and stuff. Instead of going in that direction, we are going to go to the right. You'll notice a cliff here with a sandstorm and a bunch of cacti in the background, but more importantly, you have this cactar stone. Make sure you interact with it. It is going to give you a mini game, which is going to challenge you to find the 10 cactar gatekeepers. It's basically a game of hide and seek. It's going to give you a little riddle, and it's going to tell you where to find the cactar. Cactar number 1 is going to be located back at the oasis. Instead of walking there, you can actually hit up the closest save point and just fast travel to Beacon, and that will save you a lot of time. So the cactar is going to be right here. Just interact with it. It's going to challenge you to a little mini game that kind of plays like stoplight. So basically you have to move towards it, and then you have to stop when it turns around, and then you have to basically keep moving and keep stopping, and you're trying to catch it within the time limit. It's going to challenge you to a fight. You can take this time to capture the cactar. It will actually count towards your monster arena if you're still working on that for whatever reason, and if you happen to defeat the cactar, it should give you a sphere, which you need to take back to the statue. Granted, you can actually fail at these mini games and it will still count towards giving you the sigil. You'll still get the sphere, you'll just miss out on the cactar fight. So with that being said, once you bring the sphere back to the cactar statue, it's going to give you the location of cactar number 2. He's going to be located in kind of that sand pit, which is going to be 2 screens away, so just head down 2 screens. This is where we found, I believe, Kamari during the main story. It's kind of that sand pit where it's sliding around and all that stuff, so just interact with it, do the mini game if you really want to. Get the sphere, bring it back to the statue, and then it's on to cactar number 3. Cactar number 3's clues is he likes big numbers, and thankfully for you, he is located in the same location. Go to this sign right here. It should be the second sign going towards home. Interact with it to read it, and you should notice an advertisement underneath it, and behind said advertisement is going to be your cactar. Make sure you get him, play his minigame if you want to, grab his sphere, bring it back to the statue, on to cactar number 4. Cactar number 4 is going to be 2 cactars, so we could save ourselves a little time. These are the twins, and their clue is they like playing in the ruins of men. This is going to be in that big set of ruins, which is going to be that area to the left of the closest save point, the area where you fight the zoos and the sandworms if you are monster arena grinding, the place with all the strong enemies, more or less. Grab the 2 twins' sphere, and then take that back to the statue. We are down to 5. Next clue is the cactar likes the shining blue. I recommend going to the save point and using our little trick where we board the airship and then go back to Beacon to save ourselves a lot of walking. Once we touch back down, we should be at the oasis. Make sure you go forward. Your goal is to get to the second save sphere of the location, which should be this little tent right here. So to get this cactar to appear, all you have to do is just make a save on this save sphere. So just interact with it, make a save, back out, and then the cactar should pop out. So once you get that one done, back to the statue to get our next assignment. We are down to 4. Next one, the clue is the cactar is stuck inside something. So head back 1 screen to this place. You want to go to this save sphere, go past it, follow the barbed wire fence until you get to this treasure chest. Open it up, and inside is going to be our next cactar. So grab this one, and then it is on to the next one. Back to the statue. We are now down to 3 cactars left in the desert. Next clue is this one is going to be in a hole. It is going to be in one of those sand whirlpools. Unfortunately, it can't appear right away, so we have to leave the screen and come back. So just head down and then go back up, and the cactar should be refreshed. I believe it could be in any of the sand pools. However, for me, it usually appears in this one, which is in the dead middle. So just grab it, and then we will be down to the last 2. Now, this next one is going to be quite unique. So once you bring the sphere back, the clue is going to be this cactar has left on a journey. So what this pretty much means is we are going to have to go up to a save sphere. We are going to use our little board airship shortcut. So board the airship, and then what you want to do is you want to land back in Beaconal. We should be at the oasis. Go into the water and swim around for a bit, and then what you have to do is you have to leave and then walk forward a bit, and you'll get this little cutscene where the cactar will pop up. However, he is going to hitch a ride on the airship. So he's actually going to use the save sphere and break the 4th wall and go on to the airship in this little cutscene. Quite amusing. So you're probably wondering to yourself where he's gone and how do we get him. So what we have to do is we have to board the airship, and then we have to head through the ship. So just go through the ship. I'm pretty sure you should know how to navigate this place by now. And we are going to head out on to the deck where all of the cool boss fights in the story take place. But for this, our cactar is going to be up here. So take the little elevator thing up and then head through the hatch, and our cactar is going to be out here on the deck. So you get this little cutscene where he falls off. Quite amusing, and we get our sphere. Unfortunately, you actually don't fight him up here, which is kind of weird, but whatever the case, head back to Beaconal, go back to the little statue thing, and then pop the sphere back in, and then we should be down to our last one. And just so the game can troll us, the last one is actually right behind us. So you get this little cutscene, and the clue is he's right behind, and just turn around, and there he is. So one last mini game later, you should have the 10th and final sphere. Pop it into the statue, the sandstorm should dissipate, and then we have access to the cactar garden, which is going to be way more reliable for cactar spawns if you're still working on the monster arena and don't have your 10 cactars yet. But the thing we're looking for is going to be this treasure chest in the middle. Open it up, and we should get our sigil. And that's going to wrap it up for this video. Once again, you should have gotten your achievement after picking up your last base weapon, but now that we have the upgrades, we can head back to Macalania, go back to the crystal tree thing, and you can put these upgrades in and get the super special awesome ultimate weapons. Hope everyone enjoyed the guide, and that's all there is to it.